Hej allihopa! Today I am going to record Theo's 2-month update, and I'm sorry about my voice. I'm having a bad cold and I can't do much about it, so this is the way I sound right now. I was planning to make a 1-month update for Theo, and then I forgot about it, and I was kind of like, oh well, I'll just wait for 2 months, and he will be 2 months old tomorrow. But I wanted to film this today, so here goes. I guess I'll just talk a bit about his first 2 months of life. So even though I have been doing daily vlogs for Theo's entire life, I'm just gonna go over kind of the basics of what's been going on, I guess. So first off, he was born on the 25th of January in the hospital, and we stayed at the maternity ward in the hospital for 2 nights, almost 2 days. He mostly slept, and he did nurse, but he mostly slept, and then we went home, and that's kind of when we started having troubles with the breastfeeding, because he was just too tired. He kept sleeping, he fell asleep every time we picked him up, and that got me very worried. So actually the day after we got home, we went back to the maternity ward and saw a nurse who was awesome. She was so nice, so understanding. She gave us so many tips on what to do. So basically I had to pump, and then we gave Theo milk on a little spoon, because that way he would get some food without having to do all the work of nursing. And basically what that did was that he got some more energy, and that energy helped him stay awake for long enough to actually nurse, and we kind of got into a good cycle of things. And since then I feel like breastfeeding has been going very well. I haven't gotten any of the problems that you sometimes get with, like, I can't remember what it's called, mastitis I think, or anything like that, even though I have been away from him a lot. So I have been needing to pump often, and when I don't, I have been leaking all over my shirts and stuff, especially since I've been having an internship with 1-year-olds. I've definitely felt like every time the kids were screaming, or when on days when they were particularly like fuzzy or sad, there would definitely be some more production in this area, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, that's breastfeeding. I feel like we're in a good groove now, and I know what to do and he knows what to do, and unless he's having tummy aches, he does very well. And I can breastfeed sitting, like in a normal position, kind of like this, and I can breastfeed lying down, which I never managed to get with Tyrion, so that's exciting as well, that I can do some different things. I've tried once to breastfeed in the baby carrier in my Ergo baby, and I don't know if that's for me, mainly because I'm a bit more well endowed than the people that I've seen who can actually pull off nursing in a baby carrier, and he's too far up, and the nipples are way like too close. They're looking at the ground basically, and I don't know how to do it. So if you have any tips on that, let me know, because I would love for that to work, because it would just be so convenient. And speaking of the baby carrier, Theo is in the baby carrier, or our like baby sling. I don't know what it's called, but it's just like a wrap, baby wrap maybe? Is that the word? Whatever. He's in those most of the time, because Theo is one of those babies who does not like to be anywhere else than in our laps, or like close to us. He wants the warmth of mommy or daddy, and that gets tiresome after a while, and you can't really do anything. So I mainly use the baby carrier, because that's better on my shoulders, and Michael usually uses the soft thing, the wrap thing, because he prefers that, and Theo loves it. But we are going kind of crazy, because we're like sleeping in shifts, and we're not getting much done. And I am fully aware that many babies are like this. It's just still frustrating, even though I know we're not the only ones going through this. He lost his like belly button cord thing just 5 days after he was born, which I think is kind of early, but he did, and we were happy about it because it was very smelly and stinky and yucky. So he lost that and everything was fine. He didn't get an infection or anything. Everything was good. About 4.5 weeks after he was born, he unfortunately got sick. He got a cold, and we went, or Michael went with him to the ER, and they said that as long as he's fine at home, everything's fine. And then a few days later, his breathing was very labored, I think is the word. So we went back, and Theo and I were admitted to the hospital. So we stayed at the hospital for 3 days and 3 nights, and it turned out that he had RSV, which is a virus that pretty much everyone gets. It's a cold virus, but this specific cold virus is very tough on little babies, so we had to be there for monitoring for Theo. And everything went well and he got better, but it was kind of a scary time. And again, this is also documented in our vlogs, so if you're interested in our hospital visit, just go back and watch the vlogs. And if you want to know anything more that I didn't talk about in those, or about anything really about Theo, just ask the questions in the comments below, because I always answer all my comments. And it's, I mean, I could talk about Theo forever. So on that note, I'm gonna try to speed up or just choose my words, because like I said, this video could be hours long. Oh, he got his first immunization. Is that the way you pronounce it? Immunization. Yesterday. It's for the rotavirus. It's like a flu gut virus, I think. Gut infection is what I wrote down. And it's not a shot. It's actually just some like drops that they get in their mouth, and apparently they're super sweet and stuff, and he liked it, so that was good. And he needs to get it again in about 4 weeks, and then he's protected, which is awesome. So if we get it, only the rest of the family's gonna get it. And I think that's it for like milestones. So I just wanted to kind of talk just about some random things about Theo to document it so we don't forget. He is a hiccuping baby. He has a lot of hiccups, especially he did in the first few weeks, and he did in my stomach as well, so we were not surprised. And he actually had the hiccups just before I filmed this video, but he stopped. And he's sleeping so soundly. He's so, like, as long as we have him close to us, he's a good sleeper, I think. He just doesn't want to sleep on his own, like I said before, and that's basically the main struggle we have right now. He also has quite a bit of tummy aches. He's not colicky exactly, at least around here. The criteria for a colic is that a baby screams for at least 2 to 3 hours, at least 3 to 4 days a week, I think, and that they're inconsolable. And Tyrion definitely was, so he's not as bad as Tyrion, but he is quite fussy. He has a lot of tummy aches, and we have to kind of walk around with him and have him in the carrier for him to be somewhat happy or quiet or whatever. So that's a struggle as well, but I know that it's gonna pass. It's gonna get better. Hopefully at around 3 months it's gonna get better. So we're just holding out and waiting for him to not have to have so many tummy aches, because that's not fun at all. And it's so sad to see him in pain and see him sad. Something that we have been doing that I think is kind of uncommon is that Michael actually went on parent leave when Theo was just 4 weeks old. At least here in Sweden, I think it's most common for the mother to stay at home for the first at least 6 months, and then maybe the daddy takes over. But I needed to do my internship, so that's the way it just worked out, and it actually has worked out very well. I've gone home to nurse in the middle of the day, or sometimes Michael came to me at the preschool with Theo. I pumped at the preschool, so it's just worked out pretty well. I do feel though like it's kind of like, do we know each other? Do I know him properly? Does he know me? Since I mean, I have been away for almost 9 hours a day, every weekday for 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. So I think now that my internship is over, I'm just gonna start to learn Theo, or just get to know him better. And I'm still waiting for a smile. He hasn't smiled at us yet, but yesterday when we were at the childcare facility, he's waking up. When we were at the childcare facility, they said that even if the baby isn't super early, you still correct for age. So since he was born 3 weeks earlier than his due date, we can expect him to hit his developmental milestones here at the beginning about 3 weeks later than other babies, or than babies who were born close to their due date. So I think they say that the first smile usually comes around 6 to 7 weeks, and he's 8 weeks old now, so I guess in a week or two we can hopefully see some smiles from him. Hi. I thought that he was about to smile today when we were looking at each other, but I don't know if I was just, if it was just like wishful thinking. Hey, you're awake. You wanna look at the vlog or look at the camera? I guess I should say. He has such beautiful eyes too. They're getting brighter and brighter every day. I feel like they were like almost pitch black when he was born, and now they're getting lighter blue. Yeah, lighter, not brighter. Can you show? Whoa! Can you show your pretty eyes? It's not the best lighting, but yeah, if you watch our vlogs, you've probably seen his eyes, or you will see them eventually. He's like, what are you doing to me? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know if there's anything else that I want to talk about. There probably is that I just can't think of right now. But I did write down his stats for weight and height. And let's see, he was born, when he was born he weighed about 3.2 kilos. And now he weighs 4.7, which means that he has gained about 3 pounds. So he weighs roughly 10 pounds now. And as far as, and his height, he was born at 48 centimeters, and now he's about 56 centimeters long, which is about 22 inches. So he's gained 8 centimeters or 3 inches, about 3 inches. And that's just like normal. It's not a little, it's not a lot, it's just normal as far as I can understand from the nurses and stuff. So that's good. We're happy about that. We like normal. And that's gonna be it for this update. I'm sure I'll make more updates later on, but this time I'm not gonna promise when I'm gonna do them, because I'm probably gonna forget them again. Oh no, I think this little guy is done too. He's getting a little sad and grumpy, and I think his tummy is bothering him, so yeah. Oh, please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of our daily vlogs, and we will see you tomorrow, and thank you for watching. Hej då.